Afrikaner lobby group AfriForum says it will sue the Gauteng Education MEC for defamation. This follows a claim by MEC Panyaza Lesufi that AfriForum had been following him and his family and was trying to assassinate him. Now, AfriForum's Deputy CEO Ernst Roots is here to discuss this with us. Ernst, a very good evening. Thanks for your time. Now, some very serious claims here by the MEC. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I hope that we get to the reason why we believe that what sparked this was our statement that he shouldn't be the MEC for basic education. But our response to this is it could only be, him making that claim could only be one of two things. Either he's lying and he knows it, or he actually believes what he is saying. And I don't know which is worse, because if he was to believe these type of statements, it's an indication of some form of mental illness to hallucinate to such an extent. Either, it doesn't matter which of the two it is, it still indicates that he's not fit and proper to be the MEC for basic education. Have
you ever had any conversation with him about this? Has there been any face-to-face discussions? Because I know, having had the MEC here many times, and the one interview we had, we spoke about him actually taking Afrikaans lessons so that he can be more in touch with the Afrikaans community. So I'm just wondering if has there been any kind of dialogue between you guys?
Well, we've had dialogue with him earlier, but there hasn't been dialogue recently.
Not since you called for him to not be the MEC?
Yes, okay. Yes, no, there hasn't been.
Not since then.
Yeah.
So, other than you probably saying that it might be a sign of mental illness, which I'm not sure he's not going to take very kindly to anyway, why would you think that he would be that upset about it? I mean, it's all fair in love and politics, I suppose,
yeah.
And that's what it is.
Well, I think the reason why he's so upset is because AfriForum is calling for him to step down, and because we gave proper reasons why he should step down, why he's not fit to be the MEC. And if you want, I can give you the short version of...
Well, give us your version, yes. We had invited the MEC.
Yes, so the short version of why we think he should not be the MEC, or why he should be fired, is his department has been allocated 1.9 billion rand to spend on infrastructure development to make basic education more readily available. Of that, 24% was spent, which means, in terms of their goals for this year, they were supposed to have built 6 schools. They were only able to complete 1. They were supposed to have built 175 classrooms. They only built 42. They were supposed to have built 60 preschool classrooms. They only built 5. They were supposed to have built 30 specialist rooms. They only built 5. Now, on top of that, irregular expenditures by his department has stacked up to 900 million rand just in this last year. Now, if you add the 2 years before that, it's 2 billion rand in illegal expenditures by his department. And then you can add to that the complete state of chaos with the online registration system, with literally tens of thousands of children, as we speak, who still don't have placement. And then I haven't even gotten to the race baiting, the fake news, the media spectacles at the expense of the children and the teachers.
Okay, so where do you go from here? I mean, in terms of wanting to sue, aren't you curious as to why he would actually make this allegation?
For him to make a claim like this, that AfriForum has been following him around, has been hacking his bank account, we don't operate like that. We operate within the framework of the Constitution, that we're trying to assassinate him. It's very, very serious allegations, and if he has evidence to that effect, which we know he doesn't have because it's not true, then it would be easy for him to just prove himself in a court of law. We regard this as a very, very gross case of defamation, so we will be taking legal steps, and then he can provide his evidence.
Have you started the legal process already?
We have already consulted with our legal team, so we are in the process of filing our papers.
And you don't think as it might be worth a request for a sit-down with the MEC to say, listen, we go back a long way in this conflict, or whatever it is, whether, when it comes to Afrikaans medium schools and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, starting all the way back there, it's not worth trying to have a dialogue first before.
Well, we are always in favour of dialogue.
Have you asked for one?
If dialogue, we haven't asked for one recently. We have had dialogues before. The reason why we don't think that would be a solution now is because the numbers speak for themselves. He's clearly not fit for the task to be MEC of basic education in Gauteng or in any province, just because it's clear, it's on paper. What was he supposed to have done? What was the money that was given to him? What has he achieved? And how much money have they spent illegally on irregular expenditures? And that's an indication that he shouldn't be MEC.
Okay, so just so we're clear, and I mean, we could talk about what the issue is when it comes to turning Afrikaans only schools into dual medium and all of that.
Yes.
We need a whole hour for that. But just so we're clear, AfriForum has never in any way ever threatened the MEC or said anything that might make him feel threatened?
No. AfriForum has never done that and would never do that.
All right, thanks very much for clearing that up. And yes, let's do remind our viewers that we had invited the MEC and he was unavailable to be here with us today. Hopefully we'll get more clarity from his side as well.